There are 5 hidden signals that prove he wants you badly, but is fighting his feelings. And I'm going to tell you something that sounds completely backwards. The man showing you these signals is probably acting colder toward you than any other man in your life right now. The one who seems the most distant is actually the one who wants you the most, the one pulling away, acting like he does not care, making you feel confused with his mixed signals. That is the man who is falling hard and completely panicking about it. I know you think that makes no sense, because if he really wants me, why would he not just show it? Why would he pull away? Why all the confusion? Here is the truth. The stronger his feelings get, the stranger his behavior becomes. And most women see this happening and assume he is just not interested. They walk away from a man who actually wants them more than anyone else. They completely miss what is really going on. Stay with me, because what I am about to break down will change how you read men forever. I am going to show you the 5 specific signals that prove he is fighting his feelings for you. The little things he does that give away everything he is trying to hide. And that one thing he does that sounds like rejection, but is actually the biggest sign he is into you. Because once you understand this, you stop second-guessing everything. You stop feeling confused. You start seeing what is really happening behind all those mixed signals. This is not about playing games. This is about understanding how men actually behave when they catch real feelings, the kind of feelings that scare them. And by the end of this, you will know exactly what to do when a man is fighting what he feels for you. The one move that makes him finally stop running and admit what has been there all along. But first, we need to talk about why these feelings frighten him so much. And fair warning, the real reason might actually frustrate you because it has absolutely nothing to do with you. So why do men fight their feelings like this? Why does liking you turn into this whole strange push and pull thing? Here is what is going on. When a man develops strong feelings quickly, something kicks in that most women do not know about. His mind starts treating you like a threat, not a physical threat, an emotional one, because deep down he knows that if he lets himself fully want you, you have the power to completely devastate him. Think about it this way. Have you ever wanted something so badly that you were almost afraid to get it? Because if you finally got it and then lost it, the pain would be unbearable. That is exactly what is playing out in his mind right now. The more he likes you, the more his mind panics. It is like his brain is running this automatic program. If I do not let myself fully want her, I cannot get hurt. If I keep my distance, I stay safe. If I act like I do not care, maybe these feelings will just go away. But feelings do not work like that. They do not disappear because you try to ignore them. They get stronger. They build up and eventually start leaking out in ways he cannot control. And that is when the signals start showing up, the cracks in his wall, the moments where he cannot hide what he is really feeling. But most women see these signals and think they mean the exact opposite of what they actually mean. So let us break down the 5 hidden signals. And I am telling you right now, number 3 is going to surprise you. You have probably been reading it as rejection this whole time. Before we get into it, hit that like button right now, because what I am about to tell you in signal number 3 is so unexpected that you might think I am making it up. But once you see it in action, you will never misread a man again. Signal number 1. He is very inconsistent with his attention, but there is always a pattern to it. One day he is texting you constantly, sending you funny things, asking about your day, really engaged. The next day, nothing. One-word answers, suddenly too busy to talk. Acts like you barely exist. This is not him playing games. This is not him being unreliable. This is him fighting a battle inside his own head. Every time he lets himself get close to you, fear rushes in and makes him pull back. But here is what you need to watch for. When does he pull away? Does it happen every time you have a really good conversation? Every time things feel too real? Every time you actually connect on a deeper level? That is not random. That is his panic response going off. I am talking about more teasing, more sarcasm, more playful jokes at your expense. He makes fun of you more than he makes fun of anyone else. Here is why this happens. When someone feels something they do not want to feel, they often do the exact opposite. It is safer to tease you and keep things light than to be vulnerable and admit how he really feels. So he will joke about you constantly, act like nothing you do impresses him, roll his eyes when you talk, challenge everything you say. And here is the real sign. The sharper his comments are, the more likely it is that he's fighting hard against what he feels. Because creating distance through humor feels much safer than letting you see that he actually cares. But watch what happens when you are real with him first. When you share something vulnerable or deep, his whole tone shifts. The jokes stop. The sarcasm disappears. And for just a second, you see the softer side he has been hiding. That shift right there, that is the real him coming through. Everything else is just armor. Most women see the teasing and think he sees them as just a friend, or worse, that he does not respect them. But if he is teasing you far more than he teases other women, that is actually proof you matter to him more. Here is how to tell the difference between friendly teasing and this kind of teasing. Pay attention to his eyes and his smile when he is making fun of you. Is there warmth there? Is he watching your reaction closely? Does he seem to care whether you laugh or not? If yes, that is not dismissive teasing. That is him trying to get your attention and connect with you in the only way that feels safe right now. Also notice if he ever goes too far and then immediately pulls back. If he makes a joke that lands wrong and you can see him register it on his face, that moment of concern is him showing that your feelings actually matter to him. He is trying to play it cool, but he cannot stand the thought of actually hurting you. And here is another layer to this. The teasing often increases when other people are around. If he is more sarcastic or playful with you in group settings, that is him trying to get your attention without being obvious about it. He cannot openly show interest in front of everyone because that would expose how he feels. So he teases instead. It gives him a reason to interact with you and focus on you without making it obvious. Signal number 4. He remembers everything about you. And I mean everything. That random story you told 2 weeks ago about something that happened at work, he brings it up out of nowhere. That food you mentioned once that you hate, he remembers when you are ordering together, that thing you are working toward. He asks how it is going. Here is what is really happening. When we are attracted to someone, our brain pays extreme attention to everything they say. It is automatic. He is not trying to remember all these little details. His brain is just recording them because you matter to him. When a man is fighting feelings for you, he is focused on everything about you, because even though he is trying not to care, he cannot help it. And this next part is very specific. If he remembers tiny details about things you care about, things most people would not even notice or remember, that is him showing you that you are constantly on his mind. He will bring up something you said weeks ago like it was yesterday. He will reference inside jokes that barely count as jokes. He will know your schedule without you telling him. That is not just being a good listener. That is his brain being deeply interested in you while he is pretending he is not. Think about how rare this actually is. Most people barely remember what you told them yesterday, let alone weeks ago. But this man is filing away every detail. He remembers that you said you had a meeting on Tuesday. He remembers that you do not like mushrooms. He remembers that your mother's birthday is coming up. He remembers the name of your childhood dog. These are not things you made a big deal about. These are passing comments, little details that came up naturally in conversation, but he caught them, held onto them, and brings them back up at random times. Here is why this matters so much. You cannot fake this. You cannot force yourself to remember details about someone unless you are genuinely interested in them. Your brain automatically filters out information it sees as unimportant. So if his brain is holding on to everything you say, that means his brain has decided that everything about you is important. And watch for this. Does he remember things differently from other people? Most people might remember the main point of your your story, but he remembers the small detail you mentioned in passing. That is someone who is paying full attention to your every word, even when they are trying to act casual. Also notice if he remembers things you care about and then does something with that information. Like if you mentioned you love a certain type of coffee and he randomly shows up with it one day. Or if you said you have been wanting to see a certain film and he suggests watching it. That is him paying attention and then acting on it. That is him showing he cares through actions instead of words, because words feel too vulnerable right now. Signal number 5, he acts noticeably different around you than he does with everyone else. You have seen him with his friends. He is relaxed, funny, completely himself. But with you, there is this tension, this strange energy that is always present. He is more aware of himself around you. He adjusts his clothes more, checks his appearance, seems like he is thinking about every word before he says it. That is not awkwardness. That is attraction he is desperately trying to keep under control. But here is the biggest sign of all. Watch how he reacts when you mention other men, even casually. His whole energy shifts. He gets quiet or suddenly makes a joke about it or asks questions that seem casual but are not. If he is trying to act like he does not care, but his face or tone changes the moment you bring up another man, you have your answer. That is jealousy he is trying to hide. When a man is fighting his feelings for you, he cannot fully hide how much it bothers him when he thinks about you with someone else, even if he pretends it does not matter. Here is what this looks like in practice. You mention going out with your friends and he is fine, totally normal. But the second you mention that a man was there or that you talk to someone, something shifts. Maybe he goes quiet for a moment. Maybe he makes a comment about the other person. Maybe he asks more questions than he needs to. That is him trying to figure out if this other person is a threat. And here is the thing. He has no right to be jealous. You are not together. He has not made a move. But that does not matter to his emotions. The thought of you with someone else triggers something in him that he cannot control. And that reaction is proof of how much he actually cares. Also, watch how he acts when other men are around you. Does he position himself near you? Does he find reasons to join the conversation? Does he try to be funnier or more impressive? That is competitive behavior. That is him feeling unsettled and trying to show he is the better option without actually saying it. Now, here is where most women completely get it wrong. They see these signals and make one of two big mistakes. If you push him for clarity right now, if you ask, what are we, or do you like me? If you put your feelings out there hoping he will do the same, you will trigger his fear so strongly that he will likely pull away completely. I know that sounds harsh, but when a man is fighting his feelings this intensely, you cannot force him to admit them. You cannot talk him into opening up. You cannot overwhelm him with attention and expect his walls to come down. But you also cannot just walk away and hope he figures it out, because he will not. He will convince himself he was right to keep his guard up, that those feelings were not real, that he made the right call. So what do you actually do? You create safety, but not in the obvious way. Here is what actually works, and it is so simple that most women completely miss it. Be steady when he is all over the place. Do not match his hot and cold behavior. Do not chase when he pulls away. Do not go cold when he goes cold. Stay calm. Stay grounded. Show him through your actions that you are not going anywhere, but you are also not desperate. You are just there, solid, steady, completely unbothered by his back and forth. This does something powerful to his mind. It proves that his biggest fears are not real, that you are not going to hurt him, that maybe it is actually safe to let his guard down. Think about what his fear actually is. He is afraid that if he lets himself fully like you, you will leave or reject him or change your mind or hurt him somehow. So when you stay consistent regardless of his behavior, you are showing him that his fear is wrong. You are proving through your actions that you are not going anywhere, that you are safe to trust. But here is the key ingredient most women never use.